Welcome to Still City News. It was a beautiful day in downtown Irwin for the annual Downtown Irwin Car Cruise. So many members of the community came out to admire the beautiful cars that lined the streets and the parking lots. On top of that, there were food trucks all over the place with delicious food and delicious treats. Now, we did get a chance to speak with a few car owners at this event, but I can assure you that as the spring and summer continue, we're going to be visiting car cruises across southwestern PA. That's right, our series on car cruises begins in May. It's a weekly series and we're going to talk about the cars, of course the technical stuff, and the stories behind the cars. Every car has a story, and whether or not you've had a long time interest in cars, everyone loves a good story. And the people behind these cars are also just as interesting as the cars. So let's take a look at the car cruise in downtown Irwin.
Scott Drab.
Okay, so what do we have behind us?
So what we have behind us here is a 1937 Rolls-Royce 2530. And of course, what's unique about this particular car is it was the last iteration of what they call the small horsepower cars for Rolls-Royce. They started with a 20 horsepower, then they went to a 2025, and this was the final iteration, which was the 2530, which gave the car a lot more power because they were putting bigger bodyworks on the cars at those particular times.
Now, you mentioned this has a lot of really interesting features built in. Can you tell me a little bit about this?
Well, there are. So one of the things that I was mentioning to one of the other participants here was the fact that there are jacks on all four wheels. So there's a handle that you actually take in and you can actually crank the jack under each wheel. It also has a built-in toolkit. It has the traditional marble tables in the back seat. It was designed as a limousine, and so it has the back that winds up and forms a nice divider so that you could use it as a secure limousine as well.
Very nice. So what got you interested in this particular model?
Well, you know, I have to be honest with you. I've always liked the small horsepower cars. They were what they considered owner-driver cars. And what I mean by that is, you know, they weren't necessarily relegated to a chauffeur. Here, the owner could get in, drive the car, make it his own, and drive it around town. And if he wanted something more formal, he could raise the back divider and use it as a limousine. But they were really owner-driver types of cars, and that's what really excites me about them, is the feel to get in and actually drive it.
All right, so this particular car cruise, have you been down to this one before?
I have been to this one, and I've normally brought Jaguars. So I have a number of Jaguars, and I've brought that. This is the first year that I've brought a Rolls-Royce. And so needless to say, it's gotten a lot of looks and things like that, so we're excited to have it here today.
Sam Kistler from Harrison City.
Okay, so tell me about the car.
We have a 1973 Barracuda. It was originally a 318 car. It now has a 440. It's an automatic, putting out about 500 horsepower, and we bought it out of Phoenix, Arizona.
So what got you interested in the Barracuda?
Well, back in the early 90s, I had a friend that was a Mopar crazy nut. I was driving a Cougar, and he used to embarrass me all the time with it. And I said, you know what, I got to get a Mopar. And I liked the body style of the Cudas. I bought a 70 AAR Cuda, which I had for 17 years. And I found this one about a year ago in Phoenix, couldn't pass it up, and bought it also.
So have you been down to this car cruise in the past?
I've been here probably 8-9 years in a row.
Okay, so what do you like about this particular cruise?
The fact that it's in a town like it is. They do a nice job with the presentations of the cars. Always good food and good company.
Mary Jane Anzelic.
Walter Knapp.
Okay, so tell me about the car behind us.
The 1956 Ford Fairlane Club sedan, and he had a 1956 Ford Fairlane Club sedan that was all red, that he worked on it. How old were you?
18.
18 years old, and it brought back memories. Even though he had other cars, he decided, that's it, I'm going to buy this 1956 Ford Fairlane Club sedan.
Bob Pogrifka from Irwin.
Okay, so tell me about the car behind us.
Okay, this is a 1960 Triumph TR3. I bought it in parts and rebuilt it, total frame off restoration. It's really a nice car to drive. lot of power, more than a lot of people expect in a small car like that. And a lot of the cars you see in vintage races are TR3s. I don't know whether it's because of the body style or the horsepower ratings, but it's a very nice car to have and to drive.